Today I'm going to talk about my kiesel Theos. Now before we get started, I know a lot of you guys are going to have a question is, did they know the guitar was for me? Obviously, they knew the guitar was for this channel. I talked to them, but it just so happens that two of my good friends also decided to order kiesels around the same time or shortly after, and what's great is they both agreed to let me review their guitars on the channel. I'll be reviewing their guitars the same way I'm reviewing this guitar, so please subscribe so you can see those videos in the future, and we'll see if their guitars are the same than what I'm about to review today. Why did I pick the Theos? It came pretty much standard the way you see it. So what I want to do is talk about the upgrades, and then I'll talk about all the features. First, the upgrades. I upgraded the bridge to a Goto bridge. I upgraded the fretboard to rosewood, and I upgraded the radius to 12-inch radius. It normally will come in like a 14. So everything else on this guitar was a standard option. So flame maple top, yeah, it was standard. You could get that flame maple or quilted. Alder body was standard. This is a 1/4 inch, by the way, of flame maple. Flame maple veneer headstock, in other words, matching headstock, that was standard. A graphite nut, kiesel branded locking keys, the roasted maple neck, standard. It was not an upgrade. Chambered body, again, standard. That being said, this guitar still prices at under $1,900. Now, don't misunderstand me. $1,900 is a lot of money. This is an American-made, custom-built, or say semi-custom. I like to say semi-custom because it's like plug-and-play guitars, but our parts on guitars. But this guitar still street prices under what my Ibanez AZ made in Japan priced for, and it's not quite half, but about 35 to 40% less than the Sur equivalent, even though they're made within a few hundred miles from each other's factories. So, very interesting to say the least. So, 2 humbuckers, 5-way switch, volume and tone, no push-pull, because the 5-way switch takes care of everything. Let's take a listen. Here's the bridge pickup. What I'm playing through is my Fender Princeton amp with a one of my favorite pedals, the Love Pedal JTM. One knob, I got about halfway, I'm just pushing the amp right now. Very nice. Now, I want to show you the coil split. Here's the coil split on that. And what I like is they balance really well. Again, it doesn't suck out all the volume on you. You feel like you're still in that same realm. So if you're playing a little bit and you need that kind of spanky kind of single coil tone, you can start with the humbucker. Very cool. Very cool. Another thing I noticed about the guitar that I enjoyed was the pickups are balanced. So I'm going to show you, especially on the overdrive, the bridge and the neck. And notice that, yeah, the neck's going to get fuller, bassier, but not louder or quieter. So here we go with the bridge. So another thing I really like, neck pocket design, or where the neck connects. It's got a independent screw system, no plate, and it's a little carved right there. It's all right. You know, there's no money above the 5th fret. No, I'm just kidding. It's all right. It feels pretty good. I would say it's on par with most of the other guitars. I don't feel like it's hindering anything, so it's good for what I do. I think a lot of you guys, I think a lot of these really shreddy guys, sometimes this gets a little cumbersome. Although the space between this is pretty big, so you might get away with that shreddy stuff, which may be why the body's a little wider. Again, it's a pretty wide body. Normal thickness, just wider across, it seems. It just seems. The arm carve's a little shallow, something else to notice. It's obviously comfortable, but it doesn't feel as carved over, and that kind of sticks out because the body's so high. But being a bigger guy, I like having a slightly bigger guitar right now. It's really cool. Let's go ahead and check out the neck pickup. And then you can go to the single coils. This is, again, split, going back. There is no, a lot of times when you have a 5-way switch, you go back one position to number 4, and you're gonna get the 2 inner coils. That's not what's going on in this case. This guitar, you have humbucker, and then single coil. So you got the, Now we want to talk about the bridge. Now I went with the Godot bridge, and the reason is as much as I love Hipshot, I wanted a Godot bridge because obviously, like a lot of the other super strat guitars by Charvel or Ibanez use a Godot bridge. This is the, I think this is the Godot 510, fantastic bridge. Stays in tune. A lot of people complain these bridges, you know, if you kind of go crazy, they don't stay in tune, you need a Floyd Rose. Yeah, pretty much. For what I'm doing, it's gonna work. Yeah, and of course you can do all the kind of flutter tricks. Okay, so now I'm just on the Princeton amp. I do not have the JTM pedal engaged. Very warm sounding. I really dig this. This is the neck pickup. Now, what I think that's great about it is there's this bright overtone. It's probably the graphite nut, the stainless steel frets, the bridge. There's just something that's making all the notes sparkle out. But in the room, I have a lot of bass and then just a lot of clarity. And again, if I go to single coil now, now normally I can't stand a bridge pickup on clean. It just drives me crazy. This one, sounds great. Single coil mode on the bridge. Very cool. The middle position is where I'm most impressed. You can get this really acousticy kind of full. And what I like about this neck pickup, again, I was talking about how the notes kind of pop out, but it still has a lot of warmth. It's really cool for when you're not using a pick. It comes with the standard Kiesel gig bag. That's what came. I wanted to do an unboxing, but to be honest with you, when I got it, I wasn't expecting it the day it showed up. It showed up out of nowhere. I thought it was coming a day or two, maybe even 3 days later. When it showed up, I was so excited. I had to open it. So I just opened it. So out of the box, what did I have to do? Well, it had 10 gauge elixir strings. I'm not a fan of elixir strings. I wish I was. I wish I could get past what I don't like about them. Nothing wrong with them if you like elixir strings. Strings are a very personal choice. It's not a quality thing. Some people are like, hey, these strings suck, these strings great. What I've learned is that either body chemistry or sometimes just your physical way you play or just you as a person, for some reason strings don't jive with you. And so for that reason, I switched them out to my 10 to 48 string joy strings. I really like those. A little bigger, bassier, thumpier note. Did I have to do any setups on it? Not really. I did a quarter turn adjustment to tighten the truss rod. That was mostly to compensate for the tighter 48. It's a 13.5 and a 48 right there. So just a little bit of adjustment there. And of course, a little adjustment to the bridge height just to make it play a little shreddier. Shreddier with a W, shreddier. So what do I think of the guitar? Well, there's a couple things that I really like, and I'll start with those. I really like the way the neck feels. Now, I think the neck feels a little thin. However, I need to point out, both my buddies, when I showed it to the guitar to them, the first thing they said was, one said the neck felt great, but it was thin and he liked it, and the other one said the neck was too thick. So it's very interesting. What I can tell you is, I will put right here the measurements of thickness between the 1st fret and the 12th fret, so that's how thick the neck is from the top of the fretboard to the bottom of the neck. That gives you an idea. I actually think it's not too thin. I don't mind it, and if it was a little thicker, I'd actually be a little happier. But, so you know, you can actually pay to get a thinner neck, an option, but I'm glad I didn't go with that option because this is plenty thin for me. Stainless steel frets are standard on the guitars. I went with the dot inlays, which were mother of pearl. They look great. I did a white logo. Again, there was no charge for that. You can upgrade that logo. I didn't really see the need to. This is a one-piece maple neck, and it does have a tilted headstock. So you don't have to have string trees, which is really cool. It feels really nice. I like the little volute. They had it right there. Let me show that to you. Little volute right there. Very cool. The guitar is definitely large. It's a large size body. Let's see if I have an AZ right here. It may not look like it comparison wise. I don't know if I put the AZ in front of it. I'll line them up, trying to scratch them, if that gives you a reference of size on that. I don't think it will, but you get the idea. Slightly larger body than Sir and AZ, which I like, and that's probably why it's chambered. Obviously alder with a 1/4-inch maple cap. It's gonna be a big, heavy guitar. This guitar, of course, because it's chambered, is 7.8 pounds. Now, when I looked online and looked at the ones that had in stock, that seems to be where they float. If you wanted a little lighter, I would definitely go with the hardtail bridge. The color, though, and the top is fantastic. I love the compliments I'm getting on it. It's really nice, and especially since I have my Ibanez AZ that I bought in Germany. That's their prestige crazy one that's like $2,700. That one, when I thought of the price on that one, I thought that should be the top like this. This top is fantastic. One thing I will tell you, and this is what I held back to say, I was building it on the website and then I called, and I will say this, I know there's like an internal thing about, call my guys. I know that Jeff says that a lot, but listen, you need to call, because as much as I tried to just work everything on the website, what ended up happening when I called and talked to them, the first thing they suggested was maybe putting a burst around the edge of this color, and then I was like, they showed me one. They emailed me and said, this is one we've done in the past, and I was like, yeah, that does. It looks a lot better. It doesn't look just so basic. And then, even though I was going to go with plastic bobbins, they said, hey, let's do brushed nickel. Those little upgrades may not seem like a big deal, but I think it made the guitar really pop. As always, thank you so much for your time. Till the next time, know your gear.